This is a Bailey Pegasus 534, just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker you've got your 2 gas bottle tie downs and your gas regulator on the bulkhead. You can carry a maximum of 2 6-kilogram propane gas bottles on the van at any point. Coming down the side of the van, you've got your 2 wind down legs on either side at the front to stabilise the caravan while it's on site, and you have 2 at the rear as well. In the front locker here you have storage, and you have a locker on the opposite side that does the same. You've then got your water storage container, which is for an onboard water tank essentially. You fill the tank up on top here, put your white pipe in the top, then you can turn on your water pump inside of the van, and I'll show you how that works once we go inside of it. You've then got your heating and hot water flow. You need to remove this prior to igniting anything on gas inside of the caravan. And sometimes also it's probably a good idea to travel without these on so you don't lose it down the road. You've then got your water pump connection. Water pump connection pushes into the side of the van and locks in place with the cap here. Then you've got your pickup pipe that drops down inside the ack roll. The pickup pipe does need to be fully submerged in water prior to turning on the water pump. You've then got your 2 fridge vents. 2 fridge vents are very simply there to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit to take some cool air in. And on the top right hand side you have a gas flute for when you're running the fridge on gas. You've then got your wheels and motor mover. The motor mover will demonstrate at the end of the handover, and then we'll torque the wheel nuts prior to you leaving site also, so you can see they've been tightened correctly. Fresh water that goes in the side of the van here has to come out somewhere, and that's what these 2 grey pipes are for. So you have 2 bits of grey pipe going to these larger diameter holes, then they'll drop down inside your waste master. That is just the sink and the shower waste. There's no toilet waste that comes out of there. The back of the van, you've got your toilet flush tank. You open this up and you put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. In the bottom, once I've got the keys, I'll show you how that works. In the bottom, you've got your toilet flush tank, which you release by pulling out the orange handle. Pulling the cassette out, the orange neck here turns out 90 degrees, so you can tip the waste away. Grey cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. On the back of the cassette, orange button is a pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and sputter back at you. Before you use the cassette, you'll need to put 1 litre of water in and a cap full of the blue fluid. On the back of the van, you've got your 2 wind down legs again, as I said before. And coming down the side, you've got storage for underneath the bed at the rear of the caravan. You've got your battery locker. We put a battery in there to demonstrate everything is working. Then you've got your mains power lead coming out the side of the van also. 3-pin socket so you can have power coming out to your awning, and then a barbecue gas point at the front also. Going on to the inside of the van now, show you how the inside works. As you come in the door, on the left hand side you've got your main control panels for the van. So you've got your master power switch, which you need to have on for the 12 volt or 240 to work. You've got your internal lights on and off, awning light for the outside of the caravan on and off, and then you've got your water pump run on the bottom right hand side here. I'll come back to this in a moment. Another little thing I'm just going to show you is where the 240 trip switches are and the 12 volt fuses for the caravan. So underneath the seat on the left hand side front, if you pull the bed area out at the front, you will find your 240 trip switches and your 12 volt fuses. Now each of the 12 volt fuses is marked up, and to the left of them you'll see what fuse is supposed to be in each slot. 240 trip switches, you've got your test switch here for your mains power. Hit the test switch if you're connected to power on site, and it'll indicate whether you've got mains power coming in when it drops the switch down on the right hand side here. If it stays in the upright position, it means you have no mains power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. And again, each of the breaker blocks here is all marked up above to let you know what each of them is for. Underneath the opposite side, in the same position, you will find underneath here your hot water tank for the caravan. Now down the side here, you'll see just about here a yellow drain down valve. Now to fill the water system up, that yellow valve needs to be parallel with the floor as it is at the moment, and upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat when you want to drain the system down. So to fill it up, like I said, flat with the floor as it is at the moment. On this van, you've also got that onboard water storage tank that I showed you from the outside. So to operate that, the blue valve that is on this side just here, you would need to turn around 180 degrees so it's pointing inwards from where it is now to draw the water from the onboard tank. As it's set up at the moment, it will draw the water straight from the ack roll on the outside of the van into the hot water tank, which is just below the seat here. That tank takes 10 litres of water to fill. We do advise once you've filled your water system up that you re-top up your ack roll prior to heating up the water system. So once you've got that yellow valve flat with the floor, you come over to every tap on board the caravan and open them all up on the hot side of the water system. Once the taps are open, you can come to your water pump switch, turn on your water pump, and once the water system is completely full, you'll have water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan. Once you've got water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan, you can shut all of the taps back off, and that is your water system filled. At that point, you can start thinking about warming the water on board the van. If you're on a mains powered site, you have the bottom switch here. Put the switch in the down position and the onboard water heater will start warming it up. Now that will not boost the water system when you turn on the taps like it would at home. For that you would need to use the gas system above. The temperature on the water heater on electric is around 35 to 40 degrees. However, on the dial above you can actually get the water temperature up to 60 degrees when you're running it on gas. But like I said, you'd also need to use this when you're showering on board the van. Outer grey dial will spin round to the flame symbol. Green light will appear in the back here, which is your pilot light. If it fails to ignite on gas, a red light will appear to indicate it has failed to ignite. The dial in the centre here spins to different temperatures, as you can see, between 30 and 70 degrees, and whichever number is above the green light that the water temperature will warm up to. So that is your electric and gas water heating. On the opposite side of the caravan, you've got your heating system down here, but up on the wall you've got your electric controls for it. So if you're on mains power, you need to put this bottom switch on for the room heater to work. You've then got a dial at the top here that looks very similar to the gas one, but this is for the electric heating. Grey outer dial, you can spin to either 500, 1000 or 2000 watts. What this relates to is the amount of power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. You control the temperature of the water heater on the dial in the centre here between 1 and 9. The higher you go with this, the hotter the heating will be. Pretty self-explanatory. But then down the side, like I said, you've got the 500, 1000 and 2000. And like I said, what that relates to is the amount of power coming into the caravan site you're on. But if you're not sure what to set this to, if you ask your site office when you arrive on your holiday, they'll be able to advise you of what to set it on. Turn the heating off, spin it back to the off position in the centre here. Down below, you've got the heater itself. Now on the left-hand side here, you've got the control for the gas heating. So you can turn the gas dial around to between 10 and 9, hold down the gas valve with the cover on the outside removed. And then in this pilot light window down the front, once it has ignited, you will have your pilot light, and it's around a 45-degree angle from the front of the heater here, looking down into the pilot light window. Once it's ignited, continue to hold down the gas valve for 5 to 10 seconds, slowly release the valve, then control the temperature of the heater on the dial on top. On the opposite side, you've got your blown air heating control. So that's the vents that you see around the caravan in different locations. If you want the heat to come out the front of the heater, just out the front here, you have it on the dot in the centre. If you want the blown air to run continuously, you can also use it as a cold air fan as well. Then you put the wave symbol, put the switch over to the wave symbol here, and you can control the fan speed on top. The higher you go with the number, the quicker the fan will run. The A on the right hand side is automatic blown air, so it will cut in and out with the thermostat on board the van. So that is your heating and hot water systems. The fridge, pretty self-explanatory. Dial here on the left hand side has an off position at the top. You've got 240 mains when you're on a mains powered site, and you control the fridge temperature on the dial on the right hand side. 12 volt is for when you're towing the car behind the caravan behind the car. Now if you want to use a fridge as a cool box, you can do that as long as you have the right connection on your car and as long as they are wired up correctly. You do not need to have the control panel turned on inside the van. That can all be turned off. You just come inside, put it onto 12 volt mode, and then it will start chilling the fridge as a cool box. To ignite the fridge on gas, you spin the dial to the bottom so it's pointing straight down, holding the temperature valve and hit the igniter at the same time. Once the fridge is ignited on gas, the little red line here will come round into the green, and you'll need to continue holding in the gas valve for a further 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the valve when it has ignited. If the red line comes back out of the green, then you obviously need to reignite it. If it stays in the green, then you're good to go and the fridge will be chilling on gas. Microwave, hob, grill and oven all work very much like your household appliances, no difference at all there. Though we do advise while you're travelling to remove the microwave plate from inside of the microwave itself. The bed has storage underneath which you can lift up from the bottom, so you can access the storage from here or on the outside of the van through that locker just below that window. And coming into the bathroom, You have your toilet flush on top. You have a toilet full indicator light that lets you know when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience, as you can see here. When you're removing the cassette from underneath the van or from the side of the van, it needs to be in the straight on position, not turned at all. Then below the toilet, you'll see a grey waste handle, which you need to push towards the wall to allow the waste into the cassette. And then having the closed position when you're not using the toilet at all. You will also need that flap in the central position when you're trying to remove the waste cassette from the outside of the van, as if you don't, it could potentially damage the toilet waste cassette itself. So that is the Bailey Pegasus 534. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon again. Bye bye.